Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jay Halstead's return to Chicago PD just became more possible after an unexpected Jesse Lee Soffer update. The chances of Jay Halstead returning to Chicago PD just went up after a new Jesse Lee Soffer update. As one of the original cast members of One Chicago's police procedural, Soffer's character was beloved for so many reasons. He started as somewhat of a more rogue member of intelligence until he settled into a leadership role as Hank Voight's second-in-command. Sadly, however, Soffer's exit as Halstead in Chicago PD Season 10 was rushed and ultimately disappointing. Since the show left the door open for his return, hope remains that he will eventually come back to the Windy City. Losing a beloved character has always been difficult, especially someone like Halstead. That being said, ensemble changes are not really new to One Chicago. Work for intelligence continued until he left, with Chicago PD Season 12's cast seeing brand new faces joining Voight's special team. On the other hand, Soffer landed another Dick Wolf production in FBI International as Wesley Mitchell, the Fly team's replacement for Luke Plantank's Scott Forrester. The actor has returned to his original procedural as a director but never reprising his role, which could change moving forward in light of a new CBS update. As has been reported, CBS has canceled its FBI spin-offs FBI, Most Wanted and FBI International. There's no official reason for the network on pulling the plug on both projects, but considering that the flagship FBI show is moving forward, there's a widespread assumption that the decision ultimately boiled down to the cost of their production. Somehow, despite FBI, Most Wanted and FBI International being some of the most watched series this TV cycle, their ratings aren't enough to warrant a renewal. This frees up Soffer's schedule, increasing the chances of him reprising his role as Halstead in One Chicago. Now, this is not a guarantee that Soffer will indeed appear in Chicago PD, assuming that it gets renewed for Season 13. NBC has yet to order another year for the whole One Chicago franchise, but considering their past history with Wolf Entertainment and the show's steady viewership, it's likely that the franchise will return. Between Soffer's return after he exited the show as a director and his comments about being open to revisit the character, it shouldn't be difficult to recruit him to come back, whether via a special arc or a full-time intelligence member. As previously mentioned, Soffer's exit as Halstead was utterly disappointing. The character's decision to move to Bolivia without even consulting his new wife, Haley Upton, is a taint on his otherwise solid character. Even his justification for wanting to very abruptly leave intelligence and Chicago was very weak and even uncharacteristic. Since he left, Tracy Spiridakos has followed suit, meaning it would be difficult for Halstead and Upton to reconcile. However, seeing him back in the Windy City to explain his uncharacteristic actions should be enough for Chicago PD to stage his return. Jay Halstead's return to Chicago PD just became more possible after an unexpected Jesse Lee Soffer update. For over a year, Chicago PD fans have been left wondering whether they would ever see Jay Halstead return to intelligence. Since Jesse Lee Soffer's exit from the show in Season 10, the absence of his character has left a noticeable gap, both in the narrative and among the cast. However, a recent update involving Soffer has sparked renewed hope that Halstead's return could be imminent. The unexpected Jesse Lee Soffer update. Jesse Lee Soffer's departure from Chicago PD was a hard pill to swallow, especially for those invested in his character's arc, his marriage to Haley Upton, and his partnership with Hank Voight. While the series explained Halstead's exit as him leaving to work a top-secret military operation in Bolivia, the vague nature of his departure left the door open for a potential return. Now, the latest update has given fans even more reason to believe that Halstead could be making a comeback. Jesse Lee Soffer has remained closely tied to the Chicago PD family, directing episodes in Season 10 and maintaining connections with the cast and crew. But it's his recent comments in interviews, along with his continued involvement in the One Chicago universe, that have fueled speculation. During a recent convention appearance, Soffer was asked about his potential return. His response? A teasing "never say never." While that might not seem like a confirmation, it was far from a denial. Furthermore, industry insiders have hinted that discussions have taken place behind the scenes regarding a major character return, one that could shake up the intelligence unit. How Halstead's return could play out. Bringing Halstead back to Chicago PD isn't just a question of logistics, it's about storytelling. His departure left unfinished business, especially concerning Haley Upton, who had struggled with his absence. Over the past season, viewers have seen her grappling with loneliness, pouring herself into work, and trying to move forward. But the truth is there has been no real closure. One possible return storyline could involve Halstead coming back from his assignment in Bolivia, disillusioned and changed. Perhaps he has seen things that have forced him to reconsider his career and his choices. This could allow for a deeper exploration of his character's psyche, as well as a dramatic reunion with Upton. Would they rekindle their relationship, or has too much time passed? Another angle could be Voight reaching out to Halstead for help on a case. Voight has always seen Halstead as a protege, and if intelligence finds itself in dire need, it wouldn't be out of character for Voight to make the call. Halstead returning for a high-stakes investigation could serve as a perfect way to integrate him back into the fold. Additionally, given that Halstead was always a strong moral compass for the team, his return could provide a new dynamic, especially with Ruzick, Burgess, and Atwater having evolved in his absence. The show could explore how he fits back in, or if he even does. Why this return feels more likely than ever. The timing for Halstead's return seems ideal. With Chicago PD constantly evolving, there has been a noticeable shift in team dynamics. The emotional weight of his departure still lingers, particularly for Upton, and the show has yet to fully address it. Fans have been vocal about wanting resolution, and a character return like Halstead's could provide the emotional payoff they are craving. Moreover, Jesse Lee Soffer's continued involvement with the show suggests he hasn't entirely closed the door on Chicago PD, unlike other actors who leave and distance themselves from their past roles. Soffer's recent work behind the camera indicates a lingering connection. This keeps the possibility of his return alive, and with the right storyline, could make for a seamless reintegration into the series. What would a Halstead return mean for Chicago PD? A return wouldn't just be a fan service moment, it could serve as a major catalyst for change within intelligence. If Halstead has undergone a transformation during his time away, his return could challenge the way intelligence operates. His experiences outside of Chicago could make him see the system differently, leading to internal conflicts or even a leadership shakeup. Additionally, it would provide long-awaited closure to his relationship with Upton. Whether they reconcile or go their separate ways, fans deserve to see their story reach a satisfying conclusion. Perhaps most importantly, Halstead's return would bring a sense of nostalgia and stability back to the show. With many original characters having left over the years, his presence would reinvigorate the series and remind audiences why they fell in love with intelligence in the first place. Final thoughts. While nothing has been confirmed, the latest Jesse Lee Soffer update has reignited hope among Chicago PD fans. With a strong connection to the show, an open-ended exit, and a storyline begging for resolution, the possibility of Jay Halstead's return feels more likely than ever. Whether it happens this season or the next, one thing is certain: Chicago PD would be better for it. Until then, all fans can do is wait and keep a close eye on the next big announcement from the One Chicago universe.